Okay, I want to take just a second here to talk a little bit about the writing process. Because actually, I don't think it's the research process that students don't like. I think it's actually the writing process that students don't like. Um, but it's really a lot simpler than people make it out to be. And I'm going to show you a little bit later on how to use the EasyBib as a tool to make it even simpler than it has been in the past. But really quickly, let me just talk to you about the writing process so you can just take a deep breath and know kind of what's coming and know that I'm going to walk you through it. Okay, so the writing process includes an introductory paragraph, some number of supporting paragraphs, anywhere between two and, if you're writing a thesis in college, it could be 100 supporting paragraphs, and then a concluding paragraph or conclusion paragraph. So basically, the entire structure of a paper has to be based around a thesis, which is a main idea. That's all it is. I like it when theses are arguments or claims. And the reason that I like that is that I feel like I'm going to be able to defend that claim, and that is what I'm going to do. You can't always do it that way, but when I can make a thesis sort of a claim that I'm going to be supporting, that's sort of an argument, I prefer it. I find it to be more fun. So basically, I'm going to make a claim or a thesis here, and I'm going to say that John Green is the most influential author. I'm going to say current author. That is my claim. That's my thesis. Everything that I'm going to write about in the entire paper needs to support this sentence right here. John Green is the most influential current author. If it talks about anything other than to support John Green as the most influential current author, it's off topic. So, I'm going to write an introductory paragraph talking about that. But what I want to focus on showing you is the supporting paragraphs. So, before we get there, I want you to pause the video and write what your possible thesis is. Now, that said, you may not know for sure what your thesis is going to be, but just play along with me. For example, let's say that you're doing a a research paper on gun control, and you really don't know how you feel about it. That's okay. You can change your thesis later, but just for the sake of following along, why don't you write what you think your thesis or a possible thesis is going to be? All right, so go ahead and pause the video and write down your thesis. Okay, now that you've written down your thesis or your claim, let's think about some possible topics that you are going to use to support your thesis. So, for example, for mine, I'm going to I'm going to want to know what books has he written? What topics have they covered? These are actually questions, not just things. I'm going to want to know what awards he has won. What else does he do other than just write? I want to know about his following. And then there may be other topics that I haven't thought of yet. But basically, what I'm going to do with these questions or these possible subtopics is eventually I'm going to turn them into a paragraph. So, what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video and I want you to come up with a list of possible topics that you are going to use to support your thesis. Because I'm going to talk about his books and how popular they are. And I'm going to talk about, how his books have covered important topics. And I'm going to talk about his awards. And I'm going to talk about what he does with his fame that he got from writing in addition to just writing. I'm going to talk about his following. So I'm going to talk about these different things. And there may be a lot of different things that I find in the process of my research that I don't even know yet. But go ahead and pause the video and write down some things that may end up being subtopics for you. And then what you're going to want to do is jot those down. So go ahead and pause. Okay, so for my particular essay that I'm going to write about John Green as the most influential current author, I'm going to write a couple of paragraphs to support that. But what is a paragraph? And realistically, here is where I want you to take a deep breath, because if you can write a good paragraph, you can write a good essay. I'm going to tell you a little true story about myself. I called my mom bawling in the middle of the night my freshman year in college, and I had a couple of papers due the next morning, and she said, "What is wrong with you? I can't even understand you. You're crying so hard. Calm down." And I was really upset because I was like, there's no way I'm going to get these papers done. I'm certainly not going to get them done in time. And my mom gave me really the best academic advice she's ever given me. And she said, "Laura, don't think of it as a whole research paper. Think of it as a paragraph at a time." And that advice has gotten me through my entire academic career in writing. I come up with my thesis, and then I don't even write my introductory and conclusion paragraphs until I am done. I write all the supporting paragraphs first, and I only worry about one paragraph at a time. So, what I'm going to show you how to do with EasyBib is I'm going to show you how to organize your research to be able to easily write those paragraphs. And then if you can write a paragraph, you can write another paragraph. And then you can write another paragraph. And then pretty soon, your paper is basically written. So, what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video and write down what you think a paragraph is. Go ahead and pause. Write it down. Now. Okay, if you are like 99.9% of students, you have just told me that a paragraph is 3 to 5 sentences. Okay, so let me ask you a question. You go to Clear Creek High School. My daughter's name is Brooks. My favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. The current president of the United States is Barack Obama, and the country to the south of us is named Mexico. All right, well, that was between 3 and 5 sentences. Was that a paragraph? Think about it, was it? No. That was stream of consciousness. Basically, I was just writing random thoughts. A paragraph has to be 3 to 5 sentences about one topic. So going back up to my possible topics, in my paragraph, let's say I have a paragraph about his awards. I'm going to only talk about his awards in that paragraph. I'm not going to go and talk about other things, other subtopics like his following, or talk about anything else about John Green except for his awards in that paragraph. So basically what I'm trying to say is you need to have a topic, sentence for each paragraph, and then only include the information that works there for the paragraph. Take a deep breath. EasyBib is going to make this way, way easier, I promise. But I just want you to know sort of what's coming. But I promise, it's really, if you take it step by step and you focus on the body of individual paragraphs and make sure that those individual paragraphs support your overall thesis. It always comes back to a thesis. And your overall argument. If it supports this thesis, if every paragraph supports a thesis, it will be a good paper. Take a deep breath. I'm going to walk you through it.